Hey y'all, in month 3, I switched over from semaglutide, the compounded injection, over to Wegovy, and I want to tell you all about it. I want to talk to you about side effects that I'm having on Wegovy, go over with you my week-by-week weight loss, which has still been pretty dope. I also want to talk to you about the national shortage and how to navigate the shortage when there is one, and give you a great resource that you can actually use to find out where it's available in your area, as well as remind you about the importance of diet, exercise, and the weight loss medication. So let's jump right into it. By the way, this is Rainey, and this is the Blessings and Gems channel. So I went to my doctor's office, as I told you that I would, made that appointment, and talked to him about the fact that I was on semaglutide, the compounded injection, and how I wanted to switch over to Wegovy. Well, to my surprise, the visit went really smooth. He knew and had a record of my BMI, which is 32% at the time. And because I'm over 30%, I qualified for the weight loss medication, Wegovy. Now, remember in my last video, I talked to you about how I called my insurance to find out which weight loss medication that they covered, and I had already knew going in that Wegovy was covered by my insurance. So that was a bonus, and I recommend you do the same before you go into your doctor's office asking for things that your insurance may not even cover. That's a good tip for you. So when I told him, first of all, that I was taking semaglutide, the compounded injection, and watch my last video if you want to know why that's somewhat controversial to board certified doctors, he kind of had an eyebrow raise, and he was kind of like, but he didn't say anything. He got no shade, no judgment. He was just kind of like, you don't say. I told him what dosage I was on, which was 0.50, and he asked me which dosage of Wegovy I wanted to start on. I thought that was a lot of liberty that he was giving me, but I am the patient, and I'm sure if I said something that was completely ludicrous, he would have shut me down. So I did move over from semaglutide 0.50 to Wegovy 1.0. I talked to you earlier on about how I didn't really want to do such large swings in the dosage because I didn't want to sort of traumatize my body and go through any kind of violent reactions to any medication, and that if I was going to increase my dosage, it was going to be incrementally. And so that was pretty dope. He wrote a prescription, and off I went. When I went to pick up the medication is when all the drama started about me not being able to get the medication for 2 weeks. I'm gonna share that in just a little bit, but I did eventually get it. I started taking Wegovy, and I really like the fact that if you remember, you go back to my videos, and all of the whole series will be linked over here at the end. Remember the needle, right? The needle that I shared everyone, and it was kind of freaky, and people were kind of like, ooh, that's interesting. And so, there was the Wegovy, there was a semaglutide compounded injection. And what I really liked about the Wegovy right off the bat was, first of all, you get instructions, so that's pretty dope. And I did read those, as well as the actual Wegovy itself is pretty easy to maneuver. There is a needle in here, don't get it twisted, but it is shielded, isn't as darty as the actual semaglutide needle was. So yes, you do feel almost like a prick. When they prick your finger to take blood, that's how it feels to me. So when you get it, it's empty, and when you administer the medication to yourself, this changes from clear to yellow, and I want to show you what that looks like right now. This is me taking my first Wegovy 1 milligram shot. You can see that the medication's filled to the top, and I've already washed my hands and sanitized the area. I like to administer the drug in my stomach, so according to the directions, I'm going to take the cap off, and then allegedly all I'm supposed to do is press real hard. Ooh, I like that. And wait. And I'm supposed to hear 2 clicks. Okay. So this yellow shows that the drug has been administered, and we are all set. So that's it. Pretty easy breezy, no muss, no fuss. I had no side effects whatsoever, and I had no bruising at the injection site. All is still well. And let's talk about my week by week weight loss now, because this I found fascinating. So I gave you a preview in my last video that I filmed the videos obviously after the month ends. And I had already lost 2 pounds in week number 9. Now, what was interesting was that I didn't even have any medication week 9 because, as I mentioned before, I couldn't even find the drug. But even still, in week 9, I lost 2 pounds. In week 10, I lost nothing. In week 11, I lost nothing. And in week 12, I lost 2 pounds. So total for month 3 was 4 pounds. And my total over the last 3 months is 20 pounds. So that's on average about a little under 7 pounds a month. And I'm happy with that progress. Why did I not bug out or lose my cool when I didn't lose any weight in those weeks? Well, there's a couple of reasons. And that's why you have to remember that this is a process, which I talk about in every video. This is not going to be a magic bullet. You're not going to lose 30 pounds overnight unless you have surgery. That it is a process, and that you've got to remember that diet, exercise, and the weight loss medication go together. So, there's that. There's also the fact that, I'm in menopause. So my hormones are all over the place right now. So God only knows what's going on with my hormones week to week. As well as, let me just keep it 110 with you. There are things that I still eat, and I talked to you about this earlier on. I just try to keep it 100, that I still love to eat, that I have not given up. I have not given up my fried chicken. I have not given up my cafe mochas, and I have not given up, even though I've reduced substantially my lovely cocktails. I still do have my my whiskey mules at least twice a week. So there's some things that I'm still doing that I'm sure if I cut those out, that I would lose even more weight. But I'm excited about my weight loss because I want it to be realistic. I'm not going for, moving from a size 16, which I was, now down to a size 14. I'm not interested in being a size 2. That's just me, Rainey. Again, this is a vlog. You have to remember your goals and what works for you. So don't beat yourself up. Don't compare yourself, as we talked about earlier on. Do your own journey, but know what you're comfortable with. But just remember that it still is a process, my friend. Okay, so next I want to talk to you about this shortage of the medication. My semaglutide I paid for out of pocket. I was getting it from a weight loss management clinic. It's always available. No muss, no fuss, right? It's a compounded pharmacy that's making the actual medication. And if you don't know what a compounded pharmacy is, go back to my month 2 video where I break it down. But what I found with Wegovy is that when my doctor wrote that prescription, that was the easy part. Finding the drug was insane. See, I felt so defeated. I was like, I'm going to gain weight. I just couldn't believe it. And I'm learning so much about our healthcare system in America. I'm not a sickly person, thank God. And I empathize with you if you do have an ailment or need to be on medication. This is, again, a weight loss medication that I've chosen to take. I don't have to be on it. But if you have to take medication in America, it is absolutely off the Richter scale. Let's talk about the fact that Wegovy, 1 month subscription of Wegovy retail is $1,100. Come on. It took them like $50 to make all of this stuff. Okay, maybe not 50, but not $1,100. All right. So it's $1,100 for the drug. When I called my insurance company, they told me that my copay would be $275, which I was like, but that's still cheaper than the $375 I was paying for semaglutide. Now, why am I only doing 1 month? I mentioned before that I only wanted to go up slightly from my semaglutide 0.50 to Wegovy 1.0. And I don't want to be locked into 1.0. So if I want to call my doctor and switch it up and go, hey, increase the dosage or lower the dosage, I want to have that freedom. So I did not get a 3-month supply of the medication, which they actually like for you to do. But I feel more comfortable on the month to month. I want to see how my body is adjusting. I just wanted to feel it all out. That's what works for me. You also have the freedom to tell your doctor how much and how often you want to be able to have your prescriptions refilled. So the copay would have been $275. When I called my insurance company, we started to talk about a mail order. So having them mail me the drug, because I thought, if I can get this done monthly, then I don't have to keep running down to the pharmacy every month. It's just on autopilot. That turned out to be an absolute disaster, because even though Novo Nordisk, the company that makes Wegovy, actually has incentives and coupons, and based on your insurance, that coupon could possibly cover your whole copay. So I was like, bet. So I went to the Wegovy website. And by the way, I share the link in the description. So it is worth it, because I'm about to tell you something that was like, what? So go to the website, fill in my information. And it turns out that when I went to get this prescription filled, that coupon that I got from the Wegovy website covered the $275 copay. So I was like, I'm winning. That was awesome. Now, that is when I was able to find the medication. So my doctor writes the prescription. I wait 2 or 3 days, I don't know why, to go to the drugstore to get the medication. And they tell me that they're out. I was livid because no one ever called me to say that they didn't have it. So I assumed that they did. And so when that happened, I started to panic, because now it's 3 days after the shot. I'm kind of freaking out. And I basically start calling around to all of my local pharmacies to see if they have Wegovy. Now, I don't know the math because I'm not a pharmacist and I don't know how this all works. But essentially, out of the 10 pharmacies I went to, only one had Wegovy in the dosage that I take. And they told me that it wasn't worth them filling the prescription, because they wouldn't make a margin on the of whatever it costs or whatever they bill my insurance company. Has that ever happened to you, where they basically turned you away? I was tripping. I was like, what? So then I again start to freak out. I start to call other places. I finally find a pharmacist that has the medication that takes my insurance. I'm like, I'm winning. So now it's about 5 days in, and I go to the pharmacist and they say, well, we can't fill your prescription because it's already been filled. So now I'm like, what? So I'm running around. I'm like, what are they talking about? I did shop other pharmacists. So I'm like, oh my goodness. And by the way, I also did give some of those pharmacies my insurance information. So I was like, one of these SOBs have billed my insurance company. But I thought, let me call my insurance company directly and find out who filled this prescription, because I never got the drug. So now or the medication. So now I'm livid, because I'm like, oh, now somebody's, there's fraud, and now somebody's billing my insurance company. Now they got my information. I never gave them my social security number, these pharmacies, but I did give them my insurance card. And so I was like, oh my God, now I'm really in trouble. So call my insurance company. And do you know that the original pharmacy that I went to, CVS, had filled the prescription and billed my insurance company? So then I call CVS and I say, you billed my insurance company, but I don't have the medication, to which they then say, oh, we got it in stock. So 2 days, I'm scrambling, I'm getting creative. I even called the weight loss management clinic where I was taking semaglutide to see if they would mail me the injection. Their policies are that they don't mail medication. You have to be there in person. And so I even went a step further and said, well, where do you get my injection from? Let me call that compounded pharmacy and basically go direct to them, which I did. I called the place where I got the injection, where they get their injection from. Beautiful people, dope as hell. But that was going to cost me $500 to get it direct. Even though they were going to give me a higher dosage, it was going to be a lot more complicated. I'm not going to get into that, but I was going to go that route, which was going right back to semaglutide, but I did not have and do not have a plane ticket to go back to that weight loss management clinic at this time. So back to CVS. So I'm livid. I call my insurance company back. I'm like, this is fraud. And no way in hell is anybody supposed to charge and bill you when I don't have the drug. When it shows that I picked it up, that's when you should get billed. Not that just billing people automatically. So I go to CVS. Finally get the medication, and I'm shortening this story. I literally tell the manager there, because there was some other experiences that I had, I no longer want to do business with this organization. And I had her put it in my record, and I had her revoke the prescription. I found a tracker online. This tracker I thought was really interesting because not only is it for Wegovy, it's actually a GLP-1 supply tracker, and it really helped me find where the medication was available in my area. That is also linked in the description. Please use it. You can report where you find it in your area to help others, as well as be able to report when you find it. And that way it's like a community helping one another. Love about this national GLP-1 tracker is that it not only tells you where there's a shortage of Wegovy, but also of other GLP-1 medications such as Zepbound, such as Mounjaro. And it's a great resource to be able to tap into when you're looking for the medication, should there be a shortage at the time that you're looking to fill your prescription. So definitely take advantage of that. If you like what you're hearing so far, please subscribe. Consider sharing this video because, again, a lot of the things that I share are different than what others are sharing. So I want to now talk to you about the three-prong approach. I do my research, and I actually watch other YouTubers who are talking about their experiences month after month, and even their yearly experience on some of these weight loss medications. And you know what I find very shocking? A lot of people are not talking about diet. Now, keep in mind that you already know this. I am not a medical professional, and that this is my personal experience taking weight loss medication, and that you should consult your board certified doctor and your physician about your own weight loss journey. But the thing that's not being talked about is food. I think that's really, really shocking. We have to remember that the switch, the actual pivot while taking this medication, is that we're now really focused on eating to live versus just satisfying our palate. That's a hard one to take. Trust me. Again, I just shared with you before some of the things that I'm still eating, but rest assured that I am super focused about what I eat, and you should too. So the first thing I want to remind you about is water intake. This is a picture of the water jug that I keep in my living room because out of sight, out of mind. And drinking this amount of water is not necessarily new to me. It's a new habit that I have to develop. So remember how I said that you should be drinking on average half your body weight in ounces each day. And so for me, that's roughly 100 ounces of water a day. Now, This is a picture also of just how I like to flavor my water, right? I usually have some kind of either antioxidant. I always have gingers and everything just to make it pretty and also to give my body fuel. This is about fueling my body as well as heading off any side effects. You've got to drink water. You've got to monitor your diet. So here's a couple of pictures of some of the things that I eat. And I'll show you some naughty pictures, but I'll also show you some pictures that I do pretty consistently. So this is a picture of just the breakfast that I had. You know, I talked to you about how I love the cauliflower thins at Trader Joe's. They are amazing. Again, you don't have to shop at Trader Joe's, Walmart, Piggly Wiggly. Some of these other stores have these kinds of things. Just find as much as you can carbohydrate alternatives to bread and to carbohydrates, which turn into sugar, which turns into fat. That's the focus. You're limiting and reducing your carbs and you're increasing your protein. And if you don't really have a grasp on that, go back to my month 1 video and the weeks prior where I go over the importance of making sure that you're incorporating protein, because otherwise you'll not only lose the weight, but you'll lose muscle. Super duper important. This is a great recipe. First of all, here's the ingredients of what I use. Again, those cauliflower thins and some of the other tasty ingredients to make this wonderful sandwich. Food doesn't have to be boring. Notice the ingredients that I use to zhuzh it up, right? It doesn't have to be bland. Find the tastes that work for you. This was the final product. It was so good, and I made a side of the multi-grain vegetables that were really, really dope. Again, you'll see that there's a lot of Trader Joe's, but don't worry about that. Find what you need at your local store to get what you need and what tastes good. But rest assured, you should be limiting your carbohydrates, okay? Lastly, I want to just show you some things that I ate that are naughty, right? So notice here that I've got some chicken wings. I love my chicken wings. Okay, I love my chicken wings. So instead of having 4 or 5, I actually had 2 fried chicken wings, some grilled chicken, and I ordered those from a restaurant. This is what I encourage you to do. When you go to a restaurant or when you order food and it's a large portion, immediately ask for a to-go box and put half of it away. That's what I used to do even before I started this weight loss journey, because the portions in America are ginormous most of the time. And when it comes down to the portion control, out of sight, out of mind. So I actually do that as a practice for the most part. Another thing that I had was I love West Indian food. So this is some Jamaican curry goat. I did have some peas and rice, but notice the portions. I have more meat than I have carbs. So that's how it goes down. And here's a quick video of me making one of my favorite salads that I make a lot, especially because when I go to the gym, I like to have my own food with me. And when I travel, travel locally, that is, I like to take my food with me. Here's how to make the perfect salad to take on the go. Find your favorite container. I like the ones that are vertical because you can actually stagger them and be able to level everything that you'd like. I've already started to stagger all the things that I like. So I've got baby arugula, I've got some chickpeas, I've got some grilled chicken. And so all you do is you continue to stagger and you continue to layer all your favorite greens and all the things that you like. I've added some onions, I've added a little bit of chickpeas, and then I've got some cracked fresh pepper going, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. And so this is really, really a nice way to have the salads and the things that you need with you so that you're not going to fast food places, and that you have things that you need to maintain your fitness goals. And it's easy to put in your purse or your man purse to take with you as well. So enjoy, and I hope this helped. One last thing I just want to show you, because again, I'm not perfect. I was dancing at a park. Love to dance house music, just love to dance in general, but house is my favorite. And these brothers were making grilled salmon and a grit crab cake or something. And notice how small the plate looks. Big here on the screen. It was so small, but it was so damn good. So because I had danced, for 3 hours straight, I'm like, I'm gonna have this, right? But here's how I navigate these conversations with myself. And trust you me, it's a conversation all day long. I think about, if I eat this now, then I can't have X later. I enjoy high caloric drinks. And I don't know that that's going to change, but I offset that by not having high carb foods. So just something for you to think about. It is important to continue to watch your nutrition. And I'm going to link in the description the video where my doctor gave me an actual menu of what to eat while on semaglutide. So whether you're still taking the injection or Wegovy semaglutide, it's still going to apply. Or if you're taking something else, it's still going to apply, because she really focuses on the portions and the sizes of what you should be having. But I did not want to leave this video by not reminding you about the 3-prong approach that I think is important. Number 1, it's diet and your nutrition. Number 2, it's exercise. I exercise 3 times a week. In my next video, I'll show you some videos of that minimum. And then I'm taking this weight loss medication once a week. And that's a recipe for sustainability. We're talking about sustainability here, not the one-shot bullet that's gonna, take all the weight away, and then once I get off the drug, I gain it all back. That's not what I'm after here. So I'm hoping that that's your plan. And if it's not your plan, that's cool, but just some things for you to be thinking about anyway. So that was a lot, and I know that this video has blessed you. So make sure you like and you share this video and continue subscribing, because month 4 is around the corner, because I'm a little behind, and that's gonna crank out in like a week or 2. So just get ready. I'm gonna continue sharing with you month by month. Next month, I want to talk to you about the concerns that I have about sustaining this weight loss, just based on some behavioral things that I'm noticing about myself. I want to talk to you about exercise and show you some videos about that. I want to also talk to you about meal planning, as well as update you on some pictures that I have, because I am feeling damn good about my weight loss, and I'm just so excited about this journey. I want you to remember, as I mentioned before, that this is a journey. It took you X amount of years to get to where you are, or even if it happened overnight because of an illness, or maybe you had a baby or some other life altering medical experience, that it's gonna take time. Continue to give yourself grace, to continue to love yourself, continue to know that you might mess up one day and it might just be all carbs one day, right? But just remember to get back on the horse. Remember that 3-prong approach and set yourself up for success. So go back to the series here. I'm going to link it here so you can kind of go in a loop-de-loop of things that I know will bless you. And definitely at least go back to that month 2 video that's also shared in the series. So take care, God bless, and I will see you in the next video.